Hi, welcome to Sehtar. In this episode, we are going to look at living in the here and now, living in the present moment. So, what do we mean by the present moment? What do we mean by the here and now? Let's unpack these things in today's episode, and we're also going to really enjoy this episode because this is all about being in the present. So, if you're new here, my name is Venkdesh. I'm an author and a therapist, and I love talking about the mind, body, brain connection, and how you can understand and use this connection to live a healthy, wealthy, and a happy life. In our channel, we help you to gear up for success and victory and enjoy a life filled with success, happiness, and wellness. So, in that theme, today we are going to look at living in the here and now. So, the here and now, what I mean by that is, in very simple terms, literally here and now, which means not being carried away into the past, not being carried away into the future, living in the here and now. So, what this means and what this does not mean, let's look at both. The first thing, living in the here and now, is living in the present moment. That means you are truly calm, centered, grounded, and you are in the present moment. You are literally in the present. And you are also enjoying the present moment simply because your mind is not distracted. Your mind is not carried away into the past. Your mind is not worried about the past. Your mind is not carried away into the future. Your mind is not anxious about the future, and therefore you can enjoy the calmness, and therefore you can enjoy the stillness. And with calmness and relaxation comes confidence, comes congruence, comes much more, many things that are really helpful, really useful for you to enjoy your life on an ongoing basis. Because life flows and life happens to you and for you on a moment by moment basis. You see, our brain is a very wonderful machine. A lot of scientists have explored and have time and again confirmed that the brain is a very advanced predicting machine, very advanced pattern matching machine, and very advanced energy efficient machine. Let's look at it one by one. By nature, our human brain and our human mind is geared towards predicting what happens next. And the brain prepares and also helps all the other organs in the body prepare to deal with what's upcoming. And this is by nature, which is actually to protect us and for our survival, and which is for good. But when taken to an extreme or when taken beyond the normal levels, it becomes very stressful, isn't it? Yeah. So, by nature, being a predicting machine, you would want to understand what happens next. However, being too carried away into it is not helpful. Also, our brain is a very wonderful memory machine and it's a storehouse of information. It stores so much. And very often we can drift away and get carried into the past. And living in the past means you can't create a wonderful future because you're just kind of wasting your present moment as well. And therefore, not being carried away into the past and not being carried away into the future is really very important. Okay, so let's take a step back and also look at the pattern matching machine. that part, our brain, is very, very wonderful with all the storehouse of information, the information that it stores, the capacity to retrieve information in fraction of a second. It compares with what's being received at the present moment and what's being expected. And based on all these patterns, the brain understands what's happening and what to do, how to react, how to respond. So, oftentimes it's very, very helpful, and often we fall back into a kind of our comfort zone. We want to fill ourselves, our thoughts, and our energy in a way that it feels comfortable, and we kind of put ourselves in the comfort zone, which is why many people say, and a lot of very famous saying, a lot of people have said this, it's kind of like your new life, your adventure begins at the end of the comfort zone. So there's something out there beyond the comfort zone, and you have to kind of embrace it to live the life of your dreams. So often you need to match patterns and understand which ones are working and which ones are not, and then move away from those which are not helpful. So the third one, the brain is also a very energy efficient machine and tries to use as minimum things as possible, as reasonable at that point of time, and which is why sometimes we tend to be very lazy, or we would want to kind of procrastinate and kind of fall back into old patterns because we know how it works and it's only that much effort and that much energy, and therefore it's okay, that kind of a mentality. So what we would want to do is understand these things and focus our effort without any bias, without any prejudice, without any judgment. Live in the present moment and see things the way they are rather than the way we think they are. Now this is a very profound thing. If you really kind of think through, this is really very profound. We have to see things the way they are, not the way we think things are, or not the way we would want them to be. Like watching with rose-tinted glasses, that's not what we would want to do, but understand and be really present, be reasonable, be practical, and understand the way things are. So that would help us to live in the present moment. Now, a very important thing in this context is also the ability to stay detached, because you're not carried away into the past or future, and you're just being still, calm, centered, grounded, and in the present moment. You can also stay detached from the outcome, which is very powerful. Why? Because for the very reason that you are detached. Because the more you get attached to something, you kind of like fall back and you want to go behind it and you want to chase it, and you kind of lose your real natural innate power. But when you kind of detach yourself from the outcome, then you're no longer carried away by something, but rather you being who you are, you being authentic, you being genuine, you being open, direct, honest, and you being sincere. That really puts you in a very powerful situation. And because you're detached from the outcome, you can clearly focus your efforts on what works and what doesn't. And with clarity in your mind, and clarity being critical, it's very, very important. With clarity, with calmness, enjoying the stillness, and being detached without any judgment, full of calmness and kindness, you can really enjoy the present moment. You can enjoy the here and now and live life on a moment-to-moment basis, truly, fully, really savor the moment. And that's the wonderful way to live your life. Wishing you the very best. See you in another episode. Until then, gear up for success and victory, and wishing you a very healthy, wealthy, and a happy life.